Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College welcomes all the 12th standard computer science students. Today we are going to learn from Unit 3 Programming Model of 16-bit Microprocessor. Before going ahead with the concept, let me revise what we have done in the previous classes. We have started with the introduction of x86 family. We have learned the members, the features of 8086. We have distinguished microprocessor 8085 and microprocessor 8086. Along with that, in the last class, we have learned the architecture of 8086. That is, the entire block diagram of 8086, how it is classified as bus interface unit and execution unit, and what are the functions of each and every unit, and what are the subparts or the subblocks present in each and every unit and its function in detail. So today we are going to learn the programming model. The programming model and the architecture both are different. First, let me show you programming model. This is the programming of model of 16-bit microprocessor. Architecture means each and every microprocessor has its own block diagram, which is also called by the name internal architecture. Programming model means that will be a common model present for all the members of 16-bit family, just like my 8086, 8088, 80186, 80286. So this all members will be having a common structure, which is called by the name programming model. You can see this is the diagram of the programming model of 16-bit microprocessor. Both the end of the diagram I have labeled it. There are many blocks here. So we are going to learn the three main blocks, how they are classified and the sub blocks inside it. The programming model of 16-bit family is classified into three different blocks: general purpose register, segment register, and the third group consists of the instruction pointer and the flag register. So let us learn each and every group in the 8088 and 8086 defines basic programming model for x86 family, because after the invention of advanced processor, these two were the first to get manufactured. First was 8086 followed by 8088. So 8086 and 8088 has taken the model of 8086 and 8088 is taken as the base model for the microprocessors that was developed later on. The 16-bit version of for programming model is used in 16-bit microprocessors of x86 family in 8086, 8088, 80286 and even 80186. So all these members follow the same basic model. The programming model of 16-bit version of x86 family consists of three register groups: general purpose register, segment register, and lastly I have IP and FR, that is the instruction pointer and the flag register. So let us learn about each and every register group in detail. The first group consists of the general purpose register. There are 8 general purpose register. The 8 general purpose register will also include the pointer register and the index register. So here AH and AL. AL is the lower order register and AH is the higher order register. Individually they are used to access 8-bit data. If I want to access a 16-bit data, we combine the register to form AX. Similarly, BH is the higher order, BL is the lower order, CH higher order, CL lower order, DH higher order and DL lower order. So these are the basic registers that is being used in our microprocessor. Now individually, as I said, AL, BL, CL, DL, they are the lower order. AH, BH, CH and DS, they are the higher order. Individually they can be used to perform 8-bit operation, but when I am going to perform a 16-bit operation, we combine this both register to form AX, BX, CX and DX respectively. Here X stands for extended. Already I taught you why we got the name x86 family, extended. So here X stands for extended. Now what are the functions of the register? Your A register has been similar to the accumulator. This we have discussed in the architecture also. A register is similar to the accumulator. While performing arithmetic and logical operation, one of the number is stored. After the operation, the result is stored. BX register is the base register, which is similar to your memory pointer, that is the HL register. CX is the count register, which is used for string functions, and DX lastly is the data register, which is used, as I said, the capacity is 16-bit. When you are multiplying 16 into 16, you get an 32-bit answer. The first 16-bit will be stored in accumulator, and the rest of the answer will be stored in the DX register. Next comes the SI. SI stands for source index. Here comes my index register, source index, and the destination index. These two registers plays a very important role. These both are 16-bit. We can split the register. These two registers plays a very important role during string operation. That is, whenever you are going to work with a block of numbers or a block of characters, at that time this registers plays a very important role. And then we have the pointer register. So the two pointer registers are base register and the stack pointer. So already the function of stack pointer we have learned in detail in the last class. Still, when we are going ahead, I will elaborate that. So what is the base pointer? It is also a 16-bit register. It points to the data in the stack segment. So BP register is usually used for based index or register indirect addressing and so on. And so on, we are going to use up the base pointer. So the base pointer register and stack pointer register both are called as the 16-bit register. So all these are our general purpose register. So at the top you can see how I have differentiated 0 to 7 the lower order byte and 8 to 15 the higher order byte. So in general purpose register we have accumulator, base index, count register, data register, source index, destination index, base pointer and stack pointer. General purpose register. The first group contains 8 general purpose register called A, B, C, D, SI, DI, SP and BP. AL, BL, CL and DL indicates the lower bytes and AH, BH, CH and DH indicates the higher bytes. The full 16-bit registers are referred as AX, BX, CX and DS. So as we have discussed, AL, BL the lower order bytes, BH, AH the higher order bytes, both can be individually used to access 8-bit data. So if I want to access a 16-bit, then we use the register as AX, BX, CX and DX, where X stands for extended. SI, DI, these two registers are 16-bit used for string operations as we have discussed. BP and SP are also called 16-bit registers. So stack pointer, you know, it is used for stack operation. And what is a base pointer? Base pointer is a register which is used to point anything within the stack pointer. These are also called as pointer registers as they are used to point location within the segment. As we have said, within the stack segment, we are going to use the base pointer and the stack pointer. These registers are used to store data during computation. So what are the registers? All the general purpose registers are used to store the data during computations. That's all about the general purpose register. Then comes the special purpose, that is segment register. Segment register. So we have 4 segments: CS, SS, DS and ES. So what does segment stands for? The segment stands for code segment, stack segment, data segment and extra segment. So what are the segment register? We know the segmentation of memory location has been done so that the memory can be accessed easily. First, second thing, it is going to occupy, that is within 64 KB. So here the segment registers are code segment, stack segment and 2 data segments. So which are the 2 data segments? They are DS and ES, right? Code segment, stack segment and 2 data segment, they are ES and DS. Now the segment registers, code segment is used to store the instruction, that is the mnemonics. Data segment is used to store the data Stack segment is used for stack related operation, and lastly we have the extra segment. So these are the segment registers. It plays a very important role when we are working with the external memory. All address computation, the data transfer movements all takes place in the segment registers. The second group of registers is called as segment registers. This group consists of core segment, stack segment and two data segment registers. These registers are used for operation with external memory, address computations and data movements are performed here. So whatever is the address computations and data movements, everything is being performed in the segment registers. That's all about the second group. So it consists of core segment, stack segment and two data segments. The third group consists of the instruction pointer and the flag register. So again you can see the flag register also I have distinguished into 0 to 7 and 8 to 15. IP, the instruction pointer, that is similar to the program counter. So we know the program we are going to write in the core segment. So the starting address of the core segment is always present in the instruction register, and once the operation is been done, that is the execution has been done, automatically it gets incremented by 1. So this is the function of the instruction register. And flag register, after the arithmetic and the logical operation, the status of the answer is stored in the flag register. The third group consists of instruction pointer and flag register. So that's all about the programming model. So basically we know the programming model of X16-bit microprocessor is divided into three different register groups: general purpose register, segment register, and lastly we have instruction register and the flag register. And in 16-bit family we are having two data segments. So this is all about the 16-bit programming model. Let's learn about the flag register of 16-bit processor. We are going to learn about the flag register of 16-bit processor. So when we are going ahead with the flag register, we know all the register is of 16-bit, right? So here also the flag register is of 16-bit. So let's understand. We have the carry flag, the first 8-bit. This is the first 8-bit. You might be seeing this first 8-bit is similar to my 8085. So as we have said in the programming model, whatever processor was developed later on, the basic model was 8086, right? The similar way, whatever processors were developed, the first 8-bit of the processor, that is of the flag register, will be always common for all the microprocessors. So here the D0 bit is occupied by the carry flag, D1 bit is empty, D2 bit is occupied by the parity flag, D3 bit is empty, D4 bit is occupied by the auxiliary carry flag, D5 bit is empty, D6 is occupied by the 0 flag, and D7 bit is occupied by the sign flag. So D0 to D7 is similar to my 8085 microprocessor. Then comes the TF. TF stand is occupied by the D8 bit. The D8 bit TF. TF stands for trap flag. TF stands for trap flag. Now let us understand the function of my TF, that is the trap flag. The flag plays a very important role. The trap flag is also used for debugging the program. Now what is on-chip debugging? Now setting the trap flag, that is if the trap flag is set to 1, the microprocessor will be working in a single step mode for debugging. Now, what is a single step mode for debugging? That a small subroutine will be generated internally. So, after the execution of each and every instruction, if the trap flag is set, the microprocessor will be entering an ISR, that is interrupt service routine. That is, again I am saying, after the execution of each and every instruction, the microprocessor automatically generates an internal interrupt for after each instruction, which allows a program to be inspected as it executes the instruction by instruction. Understood? Again, I'm saying trap flag means the trap flag, what it is going to do. The trap flag, if it is set after the execution of each and every instruction, the microprocessor will be entering an ISR, interrupt service routine. It will perform the routine, again it will come back to the main program. After the process is be done, again it will perform and so on. If it is reset, no such function will be performed. Next comes the interrupt flag IF, which is occupied by the D9 bit. This flag is for interrupts. If the flag is set, the microprocessor will be recognizing there is an interrupt request from the peripherals. It is similar like my INTR pin, interrupt request. If the flag is reset, means no such request has been done. DF flag, direction flag. Direction flag is also an interesting flag. This flag specifies direction flag. It is used in string instruction, that is whenever you want to sort the string of data from higher to lower or from lower to higher, at that time the direction flags plays a very important role. If it is set, that means the sorting is been done from the higher memory location to the lower memory location. If it is reset, the sorting will be done from the uh, lower to the higher. That is the function of the direction flag. Now, this trap, interrupt and this direction flag, all these three is called as the control flags. As I was teaching you the block diagram and I taught you, I said that the flag register of 16-bit family is classified into two parts. One will be the status register and second will be the control register. So your trap, interrupt and direction, all these three comes under the control register, control flags. Next comes the OF. It is occupied by the D11th bit. The OF is called as the overflow flag. OF is called as the overflow flag. Whenever an operation has been done, at that time, if there is an overflow of data, if the result is too large to fit with the number of bits available, at that time, this overflow flag will set. Simple thing, the function of dx register, if you remember, when we multiply 16 into 16, you get an extra answer, that is an overflow. At that time the flag will be set. After any operation, if the d6th bit also can generate a carry and passes to the d7th bit, that time also the flag will be set. Now D12, D13, D14 and D15, all these four are the empty bits. Now why the bits were empty? Because they thought when the advanced processors, that is if some more advanced features has been developed in the X16-bit family, at that time they can use it. But still now, that is in 16-bit family, we are not at all utilizing the bits from D12 to D15. So these are called as the empty bits. So from sign to carry as well as overflow flag. This all comes under the status flag, and my direction, interrupt and the trap flag all comes under the control flag. So by this we complete the flag register of 16-bit family. The next class we will learn about the programming model of 32-bit family. Thank you.